I'm Suzanne Henriksen, a researcher and storyteller by trade and a world explorer, drink local enthusiast by heart. I'm traveling the world to celebrate and share the people, the process, the stories, and the innovations behind craft alcohol, and I can't wait to share our amazing finds with all of you. So let's get drinking, Crafty Cask style. This is quite the operation. Well, thank you. Impressed.
Yeah, very cool. And I love that it's like, you know, being able to repurpose something, like you mentioned, from what, 1915?
Yes. So the building was actually constructed before the city of Lakewood was incorporated.
Wow.
So, yes, I would watch your step. And
It smells good, and it's warm, and the still's all lit up and in action, ready to go.
they must have finished the room.
Yeah.
So what we do is we go through a full stripping run of all of our products, and we capture everything that comes off.
Okay.
And then we'll do a final distillation. So we kind of clean up the spirit first,
Yeah.
and then we'll put it through, and then we'll collect our hearts.
Here,
Oh,
upstairs.
okay.
So we have 4 floors
Yep.
and a basement. So we have basically 22,000 square feet.
Wow.
And right now we have, how many barrels do we have aging? Do you know? Top of your head? A little over 100.
Okay.
So at this point, all of our grains go to the front of the second floor, up there, and then start the aging in the back.
Gotcha.
On the second floor, and we have 2 more floors.
Do you kind of rotate them through for temperature?
haven't.
No.
Or is it temperature controlled at all?
It is temperature
It is
controlled.
temperature controlled?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. One of the things, because we don't have, we're not in Kentucky, we're not in a big house. So we
Sure.
don't have like those serious extremes.
Right.
We need to do
Right.
something too,
Yeah.
And again, also with bourbon, when it's in a barrel, if it gets below like 40 degrees, 45 degrees, it tends to slow down aging. It
Sure.
doesn't move as much.
Right.
So again, trying to keep the temperature on the floor like
So the
up
key to
above
agave
50.
is making sure it feels like Arizona.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably needs to be about 30 degrees hotter and a little drier.
It's not like the wintertime.
Tell us all about Western Reserve. I don't know a lot about this distillery, which is super fun. Like, I love.
So we opened our doors in 2018. My husband and I are the co-founders. We started 2014.
Okay.
I guess.
What made you
playing
start?
around. He came to me with this idea of starting a craft distillery. I had no idea what one was
Yeah.
at all. So he explained to me what it was, and I was like, oh, okay, we'll have fun.
Yeah.
Thinking that he was just like snowballing,
Yeah.
or throwing out.
It would work its way out of his system. Right. He'd go explore.
So, and then he came to me a few weeks later with a business plan and 10-year projections.
Oh, wow, he's serious.
I went, crap. I always tell people, look, when we started this, I drink red wine, rosés or what's now. White wine gives me migraines, so I can't enjoy a nice
Interesting.
wine.
Usually that's red wine for a lot of people.
I know.
That's so interesting.
I'm the total opposite. And I drank tequila and a margarita and vodka and a Cosmo. And that was it. That's like what I drank.
Sure. Yeah.
So when we decided to do this, well, obviously I was going to drink a little bit more.
Right.
So we did. We jumped in.
Tough part of the job, I know.
Right? So we jumped in. We started taking classes. We did online classes. We did some in-person classes. We read. My husband's background is engineering, chemical and mechanical, so he picked up on the science stuff behind it very quickly.
I feel like that's a common part of this kind of story, that there's usually one person in the relationship who has some kind of a science background.
They have to.
That feels kind of
Now
confident
when
that...
we're, getting into this, I'm like, oh my god. If
Yeah.
you weren't, if your brain didn't work like that, I
Yeah.
don't know how people can do this if there isn't somebody
Right.
that does it. I would have been lost. I mean, I could make a recipe, but then every step that comes after,
Sure.
I would have to
The
read it
fine
daily.
tuning of it.
Right. So that's how we got started. And we decided that we would be organic. So we are
Wow.
Ohio's only certified organic distillery.
Wow.
Also USDA certified organic.
Nothing like raising the bar even higher for yourself.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, just do it. Just do it.
Basically,
basically, it's the same as an organic vineyard. We get all of our grains have to be all organic. All of our fermentable grains come from a farmer about 75 miles from here, so it's still in Ohio.
Is that part of the organic certification? Does it have to be local like that, or that's just something you guys do? Okay. Yep.
But there aren't a lot of organic farmers, as
Sure.
you probably know.
Sure.
So even trying to find one is difficult.
And they have to be certified organic,
They do.
right? They can't be
Yes.
like, we are technically organic, we're just not paying the fees, right?
No,
Okay.
you have to be certified.
Okay.
So the farmer we found has been farming organically for about 40 years, 1,400 acres. So he didn't have to worry about overspray from local farmers to get on the farm. or
Right,
anything.
sure.
So, and we have heirloom seeds got from him because of it being organic. Nothing's hybridized, nothing is multiplied over years and years and years. It's clean, it's heirloom, and so it's turned out beautifully for us.
That Spelt vodka is crazy. It's so fun.
Seriously, it was interesting when we made it. We were finally done with it, and we filtered and everything. My husband was using we had just a small bit of it at the house, and he was like, "Oh my God, we've done it. Like, we have to try this." And he gives me a cup with ice, and he's like, "Just drink it." And we probably both had two, just the vodka,
Yeah.
and went, "Whoa."
Yeah, for sure.
That actually represents our granddaughter.
Yeah.
Her name is Isabel, and we call her Izzy B. So she is the bee in our logo. So our
Cute.
logo is a compass, and the arrow points at a bee. And it's just her. She's our true north. And the way the compass is set up, if you hold it over, if it was blown up, and you hold it over the state of Ohio, the arrow basically points to where Lakewood is in Ohio.
So, to where what?
Where Lakewood is in Ohio.
Okay.
So relatively in the same
Cool.
spot. And so when we started this being a family business, she was 6. Yeah. So, she can't drink. She's 12.
Yeah.
She can't drink it. She can't sell it. She can't,
of course.
do anything with it. But she does come in and work now. Like all of our premium bottles, the labels are handwritten, and she'll come in and she'll do that. She was just here on Monday, so she was filling out labels. Then she'll label the bottles.
Nice.
And I have to be honest, she does a better job than some adults with putting the labels on straight.
Yeah. That's great.
So to incorporate her into the family business, the only way we could do that was bee.
Yeah.
So we had a designer create his own. He created the bee, and so it's designed specifically for us.
That's nice. That's lovely.
We want to do the entire spirits portfolio. So we have everything. So we knew a rum had to be in there. But then we're like, okay, so neither one of us really like rum. What are we going to do? Taking, again, classes, learning more about it, and deciding to go with the molasses as opposed to sugarcane. Was, for us, was our favorite once we started doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
And at the time, when we first started, we had a mixologist working for us that was big into the tiki scene, so rum is like his thing. So he was like, really was our...
Come on, it's a good pose. You got a good brick wall behind you. You're geeking out with some agave spirit.
So he was really like, okay, so we need you to help us hone in on this. And so same thing when we got the molasses, and that's what we got off the sun. Was like, oh, I like this one. And so we put it in the barrel and we took it out. Both of us, when we got the award, but he and I were like jumping up and down, like high-fiving each other in the office, like we were so excited. So we get 100% blue agave concentrate, and it comes straight to us. We tried the agave syrup. We tried, a couple different alternatives.
So is the concentrate a liquid?
It is. Yep. And it comes in. We were getting a frozen concentrate. By the time it gets to us, it's not so frozen. And that's all we're using is just 100% Blue Weber.
Yeah, what are you going to do in that area? How are you going to start educating consumers about what agave spirits are? And
So we have started.
Okay.
So even the consumers that, our customers that come in here, we did, we've done there are tasting classes. We do like a margarita master class, things like that. And so we have people trying them, and it's the calling it agave. That's the first thing we call it. And then we were like, everyone. So what's agave? It's tequila. Just we can't call it that because we're not in Mexico. Right. Oh, so it's tequila. Yes. Yeah. So these two are our organics. So our organic wheat and our organic bourbon. And unfortunately, so you'll be able to tell the difference. But our organic bourbon has probably been in the barrel. That one's probably been in a little over 2 years. Okay. So it's not even a full year bourbon. Yeah. So you can tell it tastes very young. There's not a lot of deep complexity to it.
It's very good though.
But really we were impressed. It says a lot about the barrel.
It has some zip to it. That I love. That was as soon as I tasted it, I was like, oh.
Our 6-year rye has become a better seller than our 4-year, which
I
we
do
were
like the
surprised
6-year
about.
a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were surprised about it because it's rye.
Yeah.
So we would have thought a younger one.
Because you want that spicy grain character to come through versus the barrel.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the extra barrel aging just kind of rounds out the edges a little bit on that one. Like that one is spicy, and it's a noticeable step change.
And if we had any of our organic rye, I would definitely pour you guys some because it's incredible. But we don't. And we did open a barrel to test it, and I'm like, no.
Not ready yet.
It's not ready. It's really not.
We understand.
And we are going into Spelt whiskey also. We figured since we were already using it for the vodka,
Yeah, of course.
we're definitely going to do a Spelt
Great.
whiskey.
I love that.
We just got some in the barrels 2 weeks ago, I think. Well, it'll be a while.
So tell me about your bottle. Your bottle is super unique.
So, our bottle.
Is it a blessing and a curse?
It started out as a curse, I have to say. So we, being a craft distiller, as you know, we all have to watch our pennies when we're getting started. And so you typically go to
custom
stock
bottles you don't see. Yeah.
Right. So we were working with a design firm that they you can afford this one. Like we know a company in Mexico. They're right in Mexico City. You can get your bottles from them. So they're handmade, and the company that does it is Cavisa in Mexico City. They actually make Patron's bottles. So we found that out when we went down there. So that was kind of fun. So trying to think of a bottle that one will stand out again in that sea on the shelves. Kind of draw your attention. But it had to be like a usable bottle. Yeah, for lack of better word. Yeah. It had to go back and forth a couple of times, and they had to keep repositioning the bead, in different places. But my most important thing about the bottle is we love the bulbous part of it, being that we have a compass for our logo.
Yeah,
we thought that was perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, a woman had to be able to handle it. Yeah. Because I love the Calumet bottle, but it takes 2 hands for me to pour it. Yeah. So a woman can hold it by its head, or you can hold it in base, and you can pour it. And at no point in time do you feel like this will fall out of your hands. We actually live in what was once called the Western Reserve region most Western Reserve region of the Western Reserve of Connecticut. And through our journeys, so my husband and I are originally from upstate New York. Okay. We moved to North Carolina, Connecticut, Switzerland, and now we're here, corporate world. When we lived in Connecticut, we actually lived in the Western Reserve region of Connecticut. So when we moved here, we kept seeing Western Reserve everywhere. And we were just like, what is this? Okay, this is strange. Right. And so we finally asked somebody, and they told us. And so when we were trying to, coming up with a name for your company, it's really hard. We're like, do we just call it the Thomas Distillery? And we're like, no, that sounds kind of arrogant. What do you do? So we just said, what about Western Reserve? It followed us. We just felt that cool. It brought two places that we lived that we really enjoy. Brought them both together.
And we were just like, so is this the Western Reserve
It
area?
is.
Like where you see that a lot?
It
so,
is.
so it makes sense too, because
Yes.
it's like the neighborhood like recognizes it, notices it. Yeah.
Yes, and
That's so fun.
Yeah, like I said, it was when we were even trying to come up with our name. The design company we were working with said, "Well, I have a picture of an old map," and they brought in an old map that actually had the Western Reserve area on it, of Ohio, and Lakewood was in it. And we're like, "Oh,
That's fun. That's great.